SFMF Lives. Is it Sunday? Sunday night, SFMF Live, 1800 CST, 1900 East Coast, West Coast. Earlier time. We're going 1 hour early this time. We're seeing if that census had it. That 1 hour earlier would be good on Sundays. Wednesdays, still 1900 Central Time. Sundays, 1800. All right, 6 o'clock Sunday, early evening, afternoon. For some of you, welcome to SFMF Live. Here we go. Great topics. We love Sundays. Hopefully you had a good day already, and hopefully you have had time to spend with Jesus. It is Sunday. Some of you can be just a rower where you sit in a row every Sunday, but you get crazy all week. Spend time with God every day, but specifically on Sunday. If you have a family, take your family to church. Watch church together online, which is what we do here in the CC house. So we'll give everybody a few minutes to gather. Get online. Let us know what you're drinking. Water, hydrate. Man, I had one of them dehydration headaches all day today. So yes, I had to drink more water. Trying to make sure we can get that dehydration headache gone. Let me put us up on the screen. Usually I have an assistant come over here and do that. Where you at, producer? The live. Welcome, everybody. I can't see anybody yet because I'm just putting this on. We're live Sunday night, September 1st. Today's the 1st, right? We're in September already. Crazy. There we go. We're connected. Let me get a quick sound check. Sound, audio, everything's good. Beautiful way to start out with Nate H. John McJunkin, good evening, buddy. Carrie Marie Potts, water, got sinus headache. I got a headache too for some reason. I don't know what it is, but drink plenty of water. Carl Green, Semper Fi, all present and accounted for. Carl Green. Speaking of which, can we start our clock over there? Nick, gassed up. Nick, get some gassed up. Nick, here we go. Sunday night. Great topics as usual because I think they're great. Hopefully you do too. And when they're not, you guys bring us some great comments anyway and get the show going. Bernard Colt, good evening, sir. Good evening to you. Sunday night, SFMF Live. Talk about some Marine Corps stuff tonight. You know we always do, but military in general. Going to talk about some customs and courtesies. Talk about the E9 rank. I did another short today. Always good traction on the E9s, the two E8s and two E9s in the Marine Corps. First sergeant versus master sergeant, sergeant major versus master gunnery sergeant. Love that discussion. It's interesting really to hear from the E7 and below, their perception of what the first sergeant, master sergeant does, the sergeant major, and the master gunnery sergeant. Those are the best. I like those comments. There you go. Topic of discussion, Bernard Colt. That's one of them. We're going to talk a little bit about having thick skin. And the way that came about, my producer and I were discussing it earlier. The trolls and stuff, and the guys that have no life whatsoever, they get on and try to pick at people. I'm sure on everybody's life. We have very few that come here. They're funny, a little pathetic at times that they're trying so hard. But I tell you, everyone, and I know all y'all got my back and you're quick to jump on them. You got thick skin. We'll talk about having thick skin in a little while. It's pretty funny. Again, I feel bad for them, but easy day. And then just good old-fashioned core values. And obviously, specifically Marine Corps core values, but just having values in whatever branch you had served or your family members have served, and then how that carries on into your civilian job, right? When you get into the civilian sector. kind of dealing with that right now, that it seems like some people just completely forget where they came from. And sometimes that could be good. But when it's not and it's noticeable and things aren't improving, something's got to change. So a couple topics. And of course, we're going to talk about whatever this warrior breed of our community, whatever you want to talk about. So seen a lot of stuff go through already. First, we're going to start out with a roll call. Where are you tuning in from and what are you drinking? Hear him say that. Never really understood NCO Marine Corps structure till you explained it. Oh, all right. Hear him. Glad to know. Cheers, Big O. It is clearly different from the U.S. Army. Not so much, actually, Hiram. We just call it different things. So a little bit different. Water in the UK, Carrie Ann. Seattle's drinking coffee. Germany, beer, of course. What else would you be drinking? Eugene, Oregon, JTB. Good to see you, buddy. Tel Aviv, Israel. Wow. Dasha, what are you drinking? Semper Fi, 805, Bad Boy, ENT. Michigan, agua. Yeah, let me get some agua. I'm telling you, I had this headache all day today. Nebraska, OJ, getting some vitamin C. Carl Green, I like that. Red Revenge, North Miami Beach, Florida, and I got a cup of orange juice. Florida oranges. All right. Yuma, cool water. You got to be drinking ice cold water in Yuma. Triple digits still. Robert Hamilton, Idaho and water. Empire Acres, Arizona. Coffee, Jared. Empire Acres, how far is that from Yuma? Monaca, Connecticut, you ain't drinking nothing yet. Get some water. Look at USMC CC, H2O. Got to drink that water. Cool 110 in Yuma, Arizona. That is a cool day for Arizona. Red Revenge, Red. You got a whole bunch of brothers. They're called Marines. But I have some brothers, yes. Be'er Mayam Soda. Mayam. Hear him. I know I'm not saying that right. Upper Region, Rotarian Valley. Menachem. I hear you, brother. I don't know what you're saying, but yes. Excuse me. Beer Mayam. Kaim is the best. 4 hours east of Yuma. Jared is 4 hours east of Yuma. Same temperature all over. Elena of Sergeant Major, I'm drinking coffee. Fiance and I decided to do or die, simplify. All right. Coming in. Comments are coming in. Trying to keep up with them. We're still only serving sodas, water, beer, juices, milk, milkshakes, and teas here at the outdoor kitchen. Outdoor field kitchen. John and his crew. Good on you guys. As long as you got water. Always got to have some water on standby. Lady Dasha, did you fight in Iraq? You have that 1,000-yard stare. Sometimes it's like 1,000 inches. Sometimes you got that mile stare. Yes, I did. A couple times. Jared, 12 miles west of Benson, Arizona. It's 92 degrees. That's cool. Not even triple digits. All right. Well, welcome, everybody. Again, it is Sunday. We are doing church right after this online. So if you haven't spent time with God today, get it in. If you've gone in, more power to you. We absolutely love going in when we can't make it in. Luckily, today's technology, we watch our church service, the same crew, Sundays. Just as good, just as powerful. We get the message of the day and for the week. We love spending time that way, any way we can, all the time with God. So God bless you all. Thank you for being here. Thank you for spending your Sunday with us, and let's get after it. All right, so the first one, I did a short. The last couple of days, I have been getting back on the shorts, right? Back into the swing of things, traveling all summer, trying to get back at it, because those really start and help grow our community. And what our ultimate goal is going to be. I share a little bit here and there about it, but we want to continue to serve. That's what all the topics tonight are going to kind of cover. But the first one is a lot of comments on the two E9s in the Marine Corps, 2 E8s and 2 E9s. And for those of you that don't know, I know most of you do, it's the 8999 MOS, the Military Occupational Specialty. And how it works is when you work your way up to E7, Gunnery Sergeant, you put on, you request which way you want to go, to be a first sergeant or a master sergeant. And it's just a request. And you know by now which way is the Marine Corps going to send you, whatever the needs of the Marine Corps are. So you can request one way all you want, and even you can kind of not game the game, but work the system. So you want to, if you want to be a master sergeant, you would do everything in your power to stay in your MOS, go to extra schools in your MOS, take some college courses, learn everything there is to know about that MOS because you want to stay in it as a master sergeant. Off-duty education, take college courses if you want to stay in that MOS. And again, that's a whatever MOS it is, administration, truck driver, avionics, whatever that MOS is, if you want to stay in it, that's the route you would like to go, master sergeant. If you want to go to the first sergeant route, again, nothing in black and white, and you won't find it written anywhere, but here's what you got to do. You got to go on special, you got to stay away from your MOS. Like DI duty, recruiting duty, stay away from your job-specific PME, professional military education. I did both. I did special duty and I did my MOS stuff, but I still wanted to be, I was putting F for first sergeant when you reach that gunnery sergeant rank. So here's what it boils down to is, again, the needs of the Marine Corps. They're going to try and put you where you would fit best. Does it always happen? Nope. Do the Marines always get exactly what they want? Nope. Again, needs of the Corps. It's what you do when you do finally get it, how you progress through that rank as well. So as a first sergeant, you lose your MOS. You are now at 8999. Your particular job, I was an engineer. That's out the window. Not that you would forget everything, but that is no longer your concern. That combat engineer stuff was no longer my concern. Whatever unit I went to, it didn't matter, doesn't matter for these first sergeants what that MOS is. For instance, my first job as a first sergeant was a motor T maintenance company. Didn't know a whole lot about motor T maintenance, which is good because that's not my expertise anymore. That's the master sergeant who spent 20 years, 15 years, 10 years in that field. He is in charge of the Humvees, the motor T maintenance. Perfect system. So between the two of them, the first sergeant and the master sergeant, mission accomplishment. The first sergeant takes care of all the administrative duties, the senior enlisted advisor to the commander on all things Marine related, and sailors if you got them. Morale, welfare, discipline, promotions, demotions, marriage stuff, family stuff, drill, ceremonies, everything else related to being a Marine is the first sergeant's responsibility. The master sergeant has, in my particular case, the motor T maintenance. He had all the line guys, the metal workers, the bolt makers, every stuff I didn't know about and I didn't need to know about, because if I had a question, the master sergeant knew it. He's the duty expert. Big O says, this is related. I think the best way to get yourself into position for first sergeant is to have good evaluations in different billets and units. That can be in your MOS or out. So here's, and I'm getting to that, Big O, thank you for that. Because here's the stigma that people normally E7 and below, oh, that dude's a master sergeant, he don't do nothing. He's just chilling there. He knows it all, but he's at that rank now where he can chill. Or on the other spectrum, I hate first sergeants. All they do is bust people and say, get off my grass. So that's the persona that takes on. So each different route, the master sergeant and the first sergeant. Here's what it boils down to. If you're already not a great Marine and you get promoted to Master Sergeant, now you're still not a great Marine in the Master Sergeant community, and you're going to bring that rank down with you. Same with the First Sergeant. All of a sudden, he's a First Sergeant. He's got a big ego, and all he says is, get off my grass and take your hands out of your pocket. He don't do nothing. So it's whatever type of Marine you are, you carry that into that particular MOS. Unfortunately, though, that's what some young Marines see. Excuse me. That Master Sergeant, look at him. He's going to get promoted to Master Guns. He's going to do it even less now. First of all, E7 and below have no idea what the Master Gunny does, or the Sergeant Major. So just, they have two different jobs, and it's for a reason. Army has it too. Someone says way different. Army is the same thing. It's just a Command Sergeant Major or a Sergeant Major. So after the First Sergeant and the Master Sergeant get promoted one more time, it's to Sergeant Major and Master Gunnery Sergeant. Same concept. Senior enlisted advisor to the commander, duty expert. So the whole persona of Master Guns are cool. They absolutely are. And it's hard to attain that rank of Master Gunnery Sergeant in a particular field because, yes, you have to know everything there is to know. Awesome. The Sergeant Major is not so popular because he's the one holding that standard. Get your hand out of your pocket, trim that mustache, fix your uniform, parade practice, NJP, non-judicial punishment. That's who you got to see. The Sergeant Major deals with the 10%, the bad 10% of that unit. The Sergeant Major spends 90% of their time on the 10% of that unit. Not always good. The Master Guns are doing the job. They're getting things done. They're mission accomplishment. I like this one. Well, the Master Guns can do a Sergeant Major's job, but a Sergeant Major couldn't do a Master Gun's job. Could be true. But does a Master Gunny want to do the Sergeant Major job? And again, does a Sergeant Major want to do the Master Gunny's job? Bottom line, they're both senior Marines. They can do anybody's job. They both know how to lead Marines. No problem. It's just the split between the two takes on a whole new life, right? I was an engineer for 15 years before I became a First Sergeant. Again, not that you're going to forget everything you knew, because it's all Marine related. All right. So it's a good one. Again, a lot of good comments on those. I think I have about 2 or 3 shorts now on the E9 in the path. Some are real funny. The real bitter ones, I want to kind of wonder, the ones that hate the Sergeant Major rank, have a feeling they've had a couple bad run-ins with the Sergeant Major for whatever reason. NJP, some way, somehow, they don't see that as a positive rank. And then same with the Master Guns. Again, you have had one throughout your career, and you're at E5 or E6, and you saw the Master Guns just chilling at the company party, having a couple of beers, having a good time, while the Sergeant Majors get your hand off your hands out of your pocket, fix your uniform. Fun. So it's always a fun topic. Is it an inner rivalry amongst Sergeants Major and Master Gunny? Very rarely, in my experience, here and there. But I tell you, a good command has a good Sergeant Major and Master Gunny that work together. They each know their position. I would never get in the Master Gun's business. So I was a Motor T. I was at the Air Wing as a Sergeant Major. I don't know anything about the Air Wing. So when I had questions, who did I go see? The Master Guns. When he had a Marine that needed to be NJP, promoted, getting a bonus, re-enlisted, right? Family issues, had to contact his wife and kids, and that's all the Sergeant Major. So as long as they use each other, money. All right. Let's see some of the comments that have about that particular topic, because that's a very popular short. Master Sergeant and Master Guns. Here's from Anderson Ho. The ones briefing for sit reps and meetings. They're also the ones who explain to the commander how young PFC and Lance Corporal botched the transaction and how it will be fixed. You know what I mean? They they both have their specific job, right? And in the sergeant major side, man, I've seen some that just stop working when they get to that rank. They're just done. They have, the sergeant major has one job, and that's to take care of the Marines. Pretty much at all cost. He or she made it to that rank for that reason, to continue to fight and protect their Marines with the commander. So are you going to have some battles with the commander, the sergeant major and the commander? I mean, hopefully not, but you better be prepared to protect them, to do what's best for the Marines, period. But too many times, I think I don't want to say too many times, at times, there are sergeants major that stop fighting. You've obtained that rank, you made it all the way to the top. Now it's time to work harder once you get in there. Master Guns are busting their butt no matter what. Again, they're just learning more and more about their MOS. They have that. They don't have that fight with the commander when the commander makes bad decisions, which happens. That's where the sergeant major comes in. So it's not position, it's action. And that's, again, having a hard time seeing it. And then does that transfer on to the civilian world? We talked about that all the time. It's a great relationship. The commander and an advisor. Again, in the civilian community, call it something different. The Marine Corps, it's the senior enlisted advisor to the commander. It needs to be in other commands. The commander can't see it all. Shouldn't see it all. Definitely shouldn't have to micromanage everybody. That's where the senior advisor comes into play. But you got to have the right one, or it's not going to work. Which again, I'm seeing too much of. Menachem, have you ever considered going warrant officer? I don't know if you were talking to me, Menachem. I had a few people throughout my career say, you need to go warrant officer. Again, I never wanted to stay in one MOS. That was the beauty for me of being in 89, 99. I could go to many different MOSs, and I did. And I kept finding myself trying like hell to get right back to the infantry. That's where my home was. Did as a first sergeant, 2 deployments. As a sergeant major, 2 deployments. That's where I belonged as an 89, 99. Gary Morden, good afternoon, bud. Bryce Wilborg, seriously, Marines, 47 in, but 17 thumbs up. I'm with you, Bryce. I can't see where we're at and the likes, but mash them buttons. Appreciate you. All right. Frankie, do you actually enjoy the world of fighting, battles, war? It doesn't matter if you like it or not, Frankie, somebody's got to do it. And that's what the 1% of our nation does for you. Gary. Oh, hey, Gary. Your gun laws are shocking. What country you talking to? John McDuncan, several questions here. One at a time. Dep Poolee Velez. Sir, is it true that most young new officers will often seek the advice and mentoring of their senior NCOs? Well, God bless you, Poolee Velez. We certainly hope so. We hope and pray that young lieutenants do. And do they, from my experience? Yes. The good ones do. And it's necessary. You got to figure that the young lieutenant just spent 4 years in college, officer candidate school, and they're learning from the books on how to do everything that they need to know how to do. But they have no experience doing it. So as soon as they get to the fleet Marine Force, they get paired up with a staff sergeant who has done it for 8 to 10, 12 years. So they match up that college education, the young boot lieutenant, with the OJT, the on-the-job training and experience from the staff NCO. Boom. Put them together. Awesome relationship. As long as they both understand. The staff sergeant knows the lieutenant's in charge. You got it, sir. You're the commander. Noted. But you need to listen to what does work and what doesn't work. Too many times commanders, not too many times, but times commanders are, again, position, not action. We're doing it this way because I said so. Well, wrong answer. Take advice from the Marines who have done it and done it multiple times. So yes, to answer your question, do lieutenants ask for advice? and mentorship from staff NCOs, or senior NCOs is what the Army calls it, 100%, and they should. All right. Did you have a good relationship with your boss? It can be a beautiful thing when in sync. W23, I did. I didn't have any terrible ones. I had some that we both had to work at. And in combat, you got to nail it down quick before you go to combat. And that's definitely a relationship that the unit will ultimately fail if that relationship's bad. Excuse me, or it's just not working. If the commander just, again, refuses to listen to the advice of the senior enlisted advisor, which I see more in the civilian community, and it's horrible. Morale goes down. When the commander doesn't care about the morale, that's when there's a problem. So if they're not synced together, you're right. It's not gonna turn out well. And unfortunately, the ones it doesn't turn out well for are the ones doing the work. The ones that are just feeling the negative results from the top on down to them, and there's nothing they can do about it. That's where that senior enlisted advisor comes in and says, sir, CEO, president, whatever his or her title is, please listen, because you're about to lose your unit, your office, your command, whatever kind of environment that you're in, your platoon. So it's got to be open. There's got to be transparency. It's got to be communication. It's got to be honesty. It's got to be open-mindedness, both ways. It's terrible. All right. Bob, 420 Network. Howdy, Marines. Howdy to you, Bob. Bryce wants to know what we're all drinking. You know what I'm drinking, everyone? Water. Staying hydrated with my new water bottle. Yes. I had to go online to purchase a sticker, but I got it. Put it on an old Yeti. And, you know, I always got some coffee. I'm just laughing because I saw a Harris24 comment on there. That is funny. What's that guy drinking? W23 says, I ran into both good and bad while deployed. And here with the commander and senior enlisted advisor, again, it takes work on both parts. And it's communication. Don't assume anything. Don't be afraid to say no or that's a bad idea. Once you quit fighting, and here's a good indication right here. Once your team stops going to you with recommendations and after actions, once they stop doing that, you know you've lost them, right? You're on your own. You're going to sink this ship all by yourself. Once they stop caring, well, they didn't stop caring. They stopped trying because they keep getting shut down. You'll have ones that'll stay because they need the job. But again, the product is going to lose out the most. So I've had some good ones. No, I've never had real bad ones as active duty. So when I got out into the civilian sector, I don't know if I assumed or I just was hoping that it was going to continue, right? There's rocky relationships with the advisor and commander, but they always seem to work out. Marines are pretty resilient. It's those ones that got out as one of those top leaders and forget where they came from and start worrying about themselves. Selfishness is horrible. It's a pandemic, horrible in the civilian sector. From prior service Marines. Something you got to be very, very cautious about and self-aware. Know yourself and seek self-improvement. But if you don't know that you're doing it, that's where that advisor comes in and says, sir, ma'am, I don't know if you're aware, but you've lost your entire unit. You've lost the trust, the confidence, right? That catch-all phrase, loss of confidence, I always screw that one up. But that's when you lose it. Again, when they don't go to, when the first instinct is, well, we got to tell the boss, man, he really doesn't like bad news. Well, nobody does. But somebody still got to deliver it. and then it's got to be accepted. All right. My last company commander says, Jared, dang it, I lost it. Doc Holiday, we taking a trip to Colorado? Hell, angels are on the way. Who's going to Colorado? I'd like to go to Colorado. On target, Sergeant Major Sim Fidelis. W23, thanks, brother. I'm seeing it more and more, and it's hard to watch. It really is. It's like, what do you have to lose, right? You're in a position where you are the one giving everything you got, and if you're not, it's time for you to move on, right? If you're not willing to fight, I don't want to say die because we're not in combat, but if you're not willing to fight and bleed, I guess, for your team, you're in the wrong spot. Maybe next year we'll fix it. Maybe next year. That turns into 3-4 years, and we're still saying the same thing. Maybe next year. No, fix it now. Stop wasting time. Time we talked about, commodity that you'll never get back. So why would you waste it? Sergeant Major, what do you think of Generation Kill? I haven't seen it, Monaco. I'm telling you, I don't have a whole lot of time to watch movies. I wish I did. Anyone else? Anyone else got about Generation Kill? I got a long list of books and movies from all of you. I just got to get on it. Hope everyone's doing well. Joe Warren, good to see you. Andrew Scott, what do you think about Trump? They think he should be president. That's when things were going smooth. This chaos that we have now, just to name a few, unreal. It's going to happen. So Major, ma'am, from Venezuela gangs taking over apartment buildings. I saw that. That's Colorado. A gang from Venezuela, illegal immigrants, illegally in our country that the Biden administration invited over, gave them tons of money. They took over an apartment complex, right? Pushing out American citizens at Colorado. Unreal. Again, let's hear it. Unreal. Why? Why are there a million undocumented, unvetted illegals from all different countries? I heard something today about they caught a couple Chinese spies. Come on in. Get whatever information you need. Here's some money. Here's credit cards. Here's a cell phone. School. Now they don't. The latest was illegal immigrants no money down and no interest rate on buying a home. Americans can't even do that. Get me started. Sac City. Hey, bro. Send in the Marines. Try that in a small town. They won't be taken. Yeah, buddy. Here's another drunk one. Wicked Star. All right. Or the nasty girls Doc Holiday. Let's go, baby. We went in. Like Nino Brown. All right. No, ma'am. No, ma'am. Military age males. Look at, since we are getting a little crazy in here with, we got, I think, a couple disabled people. To everyone else, all the real community members out there. Again, I got thick skin. The trolls will come and go. Not worried about it. With this, the community is growing, which is amazing, but it's also going to allow in some trolls. I'm embarrassed for them. They'll do their thing and then they'll move on once they realize that nobody cares. So I want to say, I mean, keep having our backs. Appreciate you guys just putting them in check as soon as they get there, but they have bigger problems in their life. Is why they do stuff like that. So thick skin. Again, some are funny, and yes, my first instinct is to shoot back at them, but it's ridiculous. So let's keep it positive. All right. That's right. And I know you do, Doc. Right? Yeah, look at Wicked Star. But when you read the room, right, and this is what we told y'all before, read the room. If you want to keep pushing your agenda, and that's what that side does, We don't even talk about it. It's when those trolls come in with a different opinion just to start some stuff. Nobody cares. Couldn't care less. So do that with your people that like that stuff. Not trolls, just low information voters. Yes, look at the producer said it. Facts right there. The trolls, yeah. And if you're offended because I'm calling you a name, a troll, get over it, first of all. But you're just, again, low information population. That's the problem. All right. Just smile. Don't feed him. Again, I'd like to help him, but he's not going to listen. I'm not starting anything by saying Kamala Harris. Wicked start. Semper Fi, my friend. Thanks for being here. Are you subscribed? And did you at least hit the like button? That's all you got to do. And hang out. And you'll learn stuff here too. You'll learn a hell of a lot here. Maybe it'll open your mind up some more. All right. Do I remember what happened on Pearl Harbor? Yes. I mean, I wasn't there, but I definitely know the history of it. Like Asagio. All right. So that's it. Thick skin. Community members. Love you guys. Semper Fi. Got my 6. Always. Around. Don't be unburdened by what has been burdened. Right there. Yes. All right. Flood Tide Custom Lure. CO. Platoon 1089 Charlie coming to 2006 here. Ara. Semper Fi, my friend. Chatting's getting wild. Menachem, where you at? I got you. Call it like you see it, brother. Like button is still free. Look at Bob. Always on it. Hit the like button. Subscribe. Salute to you, Sergeant Major, and the chat. Thank you for serving and those who continue to serve. The Papa Smurf, the OG. Thank you, brother. 100% absolutely. Anyone on this channel that has served, then family members of people that have served, God bless you all and thank you for your service. It's what it's all about. 1% of the nation serves. So cheers to them, all of you. Absolute faith that the Lord will eventually sort this mess out. Amen, Bryce. I'm with you, brother. That's why we got to pray. Pray for the right thing to happen. And we all know what the right thing is, right? We need to get somebody in there that will change this mess. Really? I mean, that's enough. Right there is enough. What else do you need to know? Wasn't she in charge of the border? Captain Egghead in the live. What's up? All right. Don't be cheap, Marine. Hit the like button. Bob. A person on the internet. What does SFMF stand for? Well, Semper Fi, my friend. Of course, if you know, you know. The MF might stand for something else if you're a Marine, but it is Semper Fi, my friend. And that's how Semper Fi means always faithful. That's what this community is. Again, if you know, you know. Those are the ones who mash the like button, stay, subscribe, tell their friends, and we keep going on, growing this community so we can continue to serve, right? We're going to come to a point where we are all serving each other. All of our small veteran-owned business, you see that flag back there? That's a small veteran-owned business. ANC Metalworks, look at that baby. I know, Mike, don't thrash me. I don't have a light on it because you see this big head? If the light is hitting the back of my head, you will be drowned out. So I have to turn the light off for the live, but I light it up. That's what we do. Support each other. Small veteran-owned businesses, Max Belts, Aero Resupply Coffee. And looking at all the stuff I have here, whatever we can. Bob, the 420 Network, Michael's Drones and RCs and Knives. It's 100% free to support each other. So support each other's channels, like each other, and spread the word, right? This is the kind of community. I like when people ask, what's this page all about? Like-minded individuals wanting to continue to serve. All right. Best handgun for EDC. EDC, Mr. Gold Kush. I don't know guns as much as a lot of people think because I've been a Marine my whole life, but I like the 9mm and I like the Sig Sauer 220 45. I like the 45. I like the feel of a 45. USMCC. It's a good thing I was scout typer. Scout typer. That is funny. A scout typer. Come on, guys. Hit the 3 dots and like. Big is going to Phil. Make a moderator. I can do the links. Drop the links. Do you remember? Yeah, what is the Opaloff stuff it's talking about? I remember all this. We all remember it. Thinking about getting one for current events. Mr. Goldcush, if you don't have a firearm now, get one. Get some. Long rifle and pistol, right? And I have a few of both. A couple of shotguns, long rifles. I like the M4s, so the AR-15s. Got a few of those. Kind of a bigger guy, so I like the collapsible stock and smaller long rifle. They're a hunting rifle for just in case. But a few pistols. So get some guns, get a bunch of ammo, get very comfortable and familiar with your weapons. If you have kids, a spouse, make sure everyone knows how to use them. They're comfortable with them. You never know, right? The world is crazy. Hopefully you're not watching the news, but you're getting news from a reliable source. You're going to see the chaos we just talked about in Colorado, where some illegals, Venezuela, gang members are taking over an apartment complex, kicking Americans out. We're allowing this? Come on. So be prepared. 100%. It gets brought up every time because elections are coming up. And if it doesn't work like it should, like America needs, it's going to get crazy. So please be prepared. Why do I need a gun? Knucklehead, TV, I just talked about it. You need to stop watching the news if you're watching the news. You got to be prepared. We have some crooked politicians in office right now. They're doing some crazy things. Good news, Sergeant Cece, if you choose a drill field, your pointing finger game will be strong. I told you, Jared, I didn't point when I was a drill instructor. I did this, so I wouldn't point. Seems like we're in a street fight. Fired up. Comments are fired up. Love it. Love all of it. Learn it. Remember, you can learn from bad leadership too. And that's what we're seeing some of that in here. Learn from it. Be open-minded, but learn. Get your news from a reliable source. Of course, not CNN or MSNBC, none of that crap. Get it from a reliable source. All the more reason to go that route. Help them in the basement. Where are all these trolls coming from? I'm telling you, so funny, Salty. We hit 15,000 today. So as the channel gets bigger, our community gets bigger, that's where these trolls come. Again, they're just searching. They're trolling. That's where that term comes from. They'll come in and go away and try to troll somewhere else where they get attention. But uninformed. The producer said it. They're just uninformed people. And maybe, again, I hope they do come here and hope they hang out and learn some things. All right. And then even the dumb jokes are just dumb. I ain't got time for that. Adam East, there we go. Here we go. A reliable source. Reporting is ordered late, but I'll take punishment, not the paperwork. 100% of the time. Nailed it. My first could have been NJP was instead I dug a 60 pit. Remember back in the day we used to dig the 60 pit, the U shape for the M60. Well, it was a U shape. Took forever. Okinawa, middle of the summer. Squad leaders were sitting on lounge chairs drinking cold iced tea while I dug with the knee tool a 60 pit. Hated it. Horrible. Almost passed out, dehydrated, but much better than paperwork, right? They could have easily NJP'd at least page 11, but that would have followed me my entire career. I would have never have progressed. We had a bad taste in my mouth. The Marine Corps sucks, and can't believe they did that. These two squad leaders, Marines, made my career. It's awesome. And never did what I did to get in trouble in the first place. Never did that again. 100%. So yes, some push-ups, brother. That's what you owe us. No 60 pit today. Does SFMF mean shoot first, MFers? Good. Absolutely. Awesome. What beats a gun? Criminals have guns too. We need something stronger. Yeah, be a better shot. Work on that gun. Be good with it. Have more than one. Check multiple sources. Try to verify them, then make your determination from there. Great advice, Hiram. I'm telling you, get on, again, channels like that, where people are real. We don't lie, BS. We don't sugarcoat anything. Keep it real. Very little politics. If we don't talk about it, and I assume that everybody's going to do the right thing, and we're going to get an American in there that would change America. Tried for 4 years. I'm assuming everyone's like that, especially military. I think military knows better, and they just know for a fact that that's the answer right now. We need someone to just shake this place up and fix it, but we need the wolf to come in here. Fire the people that need to be fired. Fire the complacent people, the ones that aren't doing anything, the ones that are just here for a paycheck. Get rid of them. Get someone in that's going to make change and make America great again. Shout out to the mods, the moderators. The Big Daddy. First of all, I'm the Big Daddy, and what I serve right now, 100%, absolutely. Still waiting for that call. Got my phone right here. Yes, that was another one. Oh, no, my last short was, would you go through boot camp again? And some, it did carry over to, yes, I definitely would, and I would do things different in my unit when I got to the fleet. As one guy said, I would have got married later. But yes, would I serve again? If they called me right now, yes. The producer might be a little upset with me and my kids, but 100%, especially the state of our nation right now. We need some old school, boots on the ground warriors to do the right thing. Too many shady, crooked, money-hungry people. How much damn money do you need? Good God. I missed what James Schroeder said, if the producer can remind me. Administration comes and goes, the Corps never goes. Is that what you said? Doc, and right the ship on the train wreck of an economy. Again, all those things, hopefully November 5th, America will get back to where we should be. God willing, pray. Make brisket 179 again. Amen. Right? Come on. Really, these prices. I mean, the list is long of crap that has gone sour in the last 3.5 years. Right there, need to send Kamala Harris to the Ukrainian front lines with Rusty Mosin. I don't know what that is, but yes. All the money sent to Ukraine could have been used for American people, veterans. How about that? Make bacon great again. You nailed it, Doc. Hillary walks after Benghazi. Come on. Again, that whole regime, all of them, ruined. Carl says, Corporal Duke Heller awarded Navy Cross 55 years after Vietnam heroics in the Shea Valley. Missed the rest of it, brother. Make gas 175 again. Again, the list goes on and on. Michael's Drones, RCs and Knives. Good to see you, brother. Welcome. Getting pretty heated tonight. Awesome. Learn how to make a bed like a Marine in 5s after doing it slow motion. Yeah. All right. You guys are killing it. I can't even keep up with it. Awesome. How we looking, everyone? Producer, how we looking? We're almost an hour in already. Next, we want to talk about core values, not just Marine Corps values. Clavo checking in. Menachem. Oh, Salty says, I'm not entirely sure about the rank issue. I only know about having to go through boot camp again if outside the IR time. So we talked about that too. Yes, if you're from another service, if this is what you guys are talking about, any other service, you can be in the Air Force 10 years, you want to now switch over to the Marine Corps, your Air Force bud is going through Marine Corps boot camp. If you're a Marine and you want to go in the Air Force at 10 or 12 years later, you just go, I think you might lose a rank or something. You match up the MOS, I'm sure as close as possible, and you just continue on with your career. You don't go through basic training. So the only way you'd go through, and someone on the comments said they went through boot camp twice. Not sure why, like one, and 10 years later they went again. I don't know, never heard of that. But the question really is would you go through boot camp or your basic training, whatever branch of service you're in, would you go? Now, at my age, come on, I want to believe I could, but no, I wouldn't want to. Knowing the things you know, because I would be that you couldn't do, I couldn't do it without saying, come here, drone instructor, let me tell you what you're doing wrong or what could be done better. So that would be tough. But I'm talking a year or two after you graduated boot camp, would you go right back and go through that hell again? I don't know too many people that would. But then it did evolve into us older generation. Would we go back in? And where's like old Gyrene? I don't remember who it was, but a lot of those guys, I'm 77, 75, but yes, I would. Let me get my kit bag and my M1 and keep your powder dry and get back in the fight. And that's, again, because where our country is now, where this administration has driven our country. When you got old timers, 77 years old, want to go fix things, you know you've done something wrong. And that's in a lot of communities. All right. Excuse me. Adam says, I talked to a guy at the Ford Service Department the other day. He got kicked out for refusing the COVID vaccine. Again, and now they tried that whole COVID hoax for the election, whatever crooked reason they did all that. And now those guys they're apologizing to the people that they kicked out. Come on. Talked to a couple Marines that got kicked out because they denied the jab. I'm telling you, it worries me. I don't know what I would have done if that would have happened when I had towards getting close to retirement, right? How about those guys that couldn't retire because of that, or ruin their opportunity to retire because of that BS? What are they doing for them now? I'm glad I wasn't in during that time. I'm telling you, I have no idea how I would have handled that. I'm making my own decision if I want to take that crap or not. But if they would have forced me out as a sergeant major, not hitting my retirement, oh, good God. All right, crazy times. Michael's Drones, how's everything going, brother? Always great to see you. Did we catch you off guard by starting early? Adam East, I was happy to see her going back in, though. I missed part of that story, but they are allowing people to go back in that they erroneously kicked out because of that? I hope so. I said you get 30 shots at least when you go into basic training. Yeah, it's minor stuff. William Jason Soto, learn how to get a shelter apartment 3 years. Learn how to get a shelter apartment 3 years in a shelter, rights, qualify for housing on record. Ever since apartment, everything included, Hartford, Connecticut. How'd you get that? Everyone should turn on notifications. Bob, bringing it right back home, brother. Thank you. Turn on notifications because we did start early tonight, 1800, 1 hour earlier, 1800 early Central Time. Excuse me. So 2 hours earlier. No, just still 1 hour earlier for everybody, whatever coast you're on. So back to core values. And I don't mean just Marine Corps values. I mean core values altogether. I've seen being in when I first retired, I went into the JROTC community. So I saw all the other JROTC cadets. So I got very familiar then, after I retired, with other branches of service. Mostly, I guess Navy too, mostly Army and Air Force. Was there Navy? So just seeing the different instructors and learning about their services from the instructors and how they run their JROTCs. And it's all about the unit takes on the personality, if you will, of their instructors. So Marine Corps JROTC, of course, we expect them to be, we're not trying to make them Marines, but they are following Marine standards. So that's where the core values comes in. Marine Corps JROTC is different than the other ones because they wear Marine Corps uniforms. So they fall under Marine Corps regulations. Other branches of service have JROTC uniforms. So they're, and I don't know this to be a fact, but they don't have the same, their JROTC units don't have the same regulations and rules as the active component Army, Air Force, and the Navy. Marines do. So the core values in a Marine Corps JROTC are that much higher. So they're held, those core values hold true, as they should for every single cadet, if you will, that wears that uniform. Grooming, uniform appearance, uniforms, again, the same, the 89.99s, no hands in your pockets, cover on and off, in and outdoors, not mix and matching the uniform in any way, shape, or form. That is a Marine uniform. You don't have the authorization to change it up and wear something crazy, a personal sweater with your Charlies because you're cold. You don't have that option as a cadet, nor would you as a Marine. So as long as it's a Marine uniform, you have to follow Marine Corps regulations. And it's the core inside of you. Again, same with those other, every now and then you get a guy on, we get a guy on the channel saying, bro, you were a Marine 30 years ago, let it go. Let what go? Let my passion and everything I know. You know, we talked about a tennis player, whole life tennis player in the Masters and all these competitions and matches and tennis games. And so I don't know what they call tennis matches. When they retire, they're supposed to forget about it completely, never talk about tennis again. Bro, you're not an active tennis player no more. You can't talk about tennis. Come on, get real. So those are funny. I always like those. Carlos Diaz, hello, brother. Good to see you. Michael Jones says, Sergeant Major, have you heard of military alignment? Absolutely. That's where your Charlie shirt, your belt buckle, and your trousers, all one line. That's military alignment. You got to keep it straight all the time. So there you go, Paul and Megan. So football players, same thing. Born and raised playing football since pee-wees, 3 years old. Into college, NFL. They retire, a couple Super Bowl rings, whatever. They retire from football. They're not allowed to talk about football anymore. Give it up, bro. You don't play anymore. Come on. Think about it. Those trolls are funny. Let it go, man. Still talking about boot camp 30 years later. Yes, 100%. Doc. Oh, Jodo TV. I have a flat foot. Do I qualify for military? Just one flat foot? And flat feet is a disqualifier as a recruiter. Go see your local recruiter. There's a waiver for everything, but I don't know about that one. Check it out though. See a recruiter. Don't give up. Fight. Ask those questions. Why are people chatting so fast? That's what I'm talking about. I'm not a football player. I'm a mechanic. Same thing. Mechanic. You've been a mechanic your whole life, Paul. When you retired, are you not going to ever talk about being a mechanic again? Good on you. Your core beliefs are in your heart. Let your heart always be true to your core, says Joe Warren. That's what I'm saying. Again, in this argument I recently had about desecrating the service uniform, I wonder, when am I going overboard? Why are we disrespecting this uniform? How could that be? How could I'm no more Marine than anyone else? I bleed green, that's for damn sure. But how could someone allow something like that to happen? Right back to core values. But why are people's core values different? Because they let it go. That mechanic did let it go. I'm retiring this day. I'll never talk about mechanics ever again. And some people do when they leave the service and they take their boots off for the last time. They do leave it all behind. That's their choice, 100%. But do we get mad at them? You see us getting mad at them? Why don't you talk about boot camp? Well, you boot camp 30 years ago. You need to. No, it's your choice. Whatever you want to do. We don't hate on them. Gaz Coleman, this is spot on. Good point there. Thank you, Gaz. Funk Suyanoi. Who's going to win? Who's going to win, man? Trump or Harris? If it's all done legally, we all know who's going to win. The right thing's going to happen. We got to pray on it. We got to pray. I just saw something else on Harris's running partner. Man, who was it that just, he's still sticking with his, with this lie. I can't even think of his name right now. Carl Green, Semper Fi, brother. Clavo's got it. It's time to make America great again. Pray's always good. Tell you, Doc, we got to pray on this one. Pray that nothing shady happens again. We have to pray. Wallace, thank you, KKK Cool. Wallace, another ridiculous story on him today where he just flat out lied. Check your sources. Again, don't watch the news. Do not watch the news. Carlos says, don't worry. That's why I'll do a podcast with a group of boys later in the future. Many Marines want to be fully informed. Recon grunts can be any worse. They're missing a lot still. Where's the Corps stand these days on domestic enemies? Good question, Ronald. Corps starting to fall into that kind of mess also. I refuse to take part in political theater. Yep. Turtles, you like turtles? Shady? yeah, shady as heck. Unbelievable. They want us to believe all that stuff really happened. America's literally great. So dude begging for all right. Let's bring this back to reality. Give us some new news, Michael's Drones. How about John McJunkin? What are you serving tonight? What are you serving at the field kitchen? Whoopee. Remember, I didn't knife hand all that much as a drone instructor. That's more of a cinematic thing than like the knife hand. It does happen. The Marines do it. What did I tell you? Drone instructors, I think that's where that started. And on the drill field, they go through phases of no more doing this. For a while, we even had to, when we yelled at recruiters with our hands behind our back, it became very uncomfortable, and they finally realized that was stupid. But no more knife hands. No more pointing. Pointing leads to you get really close, and then you end up touching them. So I'm telling you, I did right here. I kept it in close. Kept it in close so I wouldn't make a mistake. So I made you graduated boot camp. How excited were you for Family Day? Graduated boot camp. How excited were you for Family Day at boot camp? So it was different when I was a recruit. Some of us older generation, we had Family Day a week before graduation. Now it's a day before, I think, right? Thursday is Family Day, and then they graduate on Friday. I think they realized that was hard too. Too many families couldn't come and stay in San Diego for a week. I think they had DI dinner and Family Day on Sunday, and then we graduated the following Friday. So that was a whole week. Some families either had to fly in, fly home, and fly for graduation, or pay the money to spend a week. So it's different now. Anyone current, let us know. Pretty sure, I believe Family Day is Thursday, DI dinner that night with families, and then Friday is graduation. So families don't have to stay a whole week. Much better. But how excited was I? It was pretty crazy. My whole family did come out. And I was the one handing out flyers, standing in front of the theater at San Diego, MCRD. And they were supposed to get a flyer from me and go in. Of course, my family, my brothers, are all circling around me, and I had to maintain discipline and yes sir, no sir, yes ma'am to my mom and dad, and pretty exciting. It was fun. I remember it like it was yesterday, a couple years ago. It's still free to like. Bob's on it. Still free to like and share and subscribe. GR1M1. GR1M1 M1A1. Does that stand for Simplify MFer? Could be. Simplify, my friend. JT, but well, he denied. I missed what y'all are talking about. But that was graduation day. Was it exciting? Now, you know, and I never thought about it till recently. Producer reminded me, what about those Marines that didn't have anyone there at graduation? And now I know they have different groups and organizations. Again, we're just getting smarter and smarter with boot camp and looking out for the single Marines, right? Living in the barracks, the single Marines, what kind of opportunities they have. Single Marine and Sailor program, awesome. We had Sergeant Cece on here last month, and she was talking about how amazing the Senior Marine and Sailor program is, but not enough Marines taking advantage of it. There we go. John says, hold on, Doc says, my son is having some issues with his civilian life. Wow, trying to balance both the military life and civilian life. Any advice? Doc, I'm going to get back to that. John McJuckin says, tonight, due to it being Sunday, is meatloaf. Love the meatloaf. Ma, the meatloaf, pulled pork, riblets, fried chicken, fried catfish, salmon patties for the main entree, and side mashed potatoes, mac and cheese. Man, that sounds good. Everything you just put on there sounds good. All right. No, sorry, CC, no, he's still bumped. I might have bumped, Bill bumped a couple people. Did you or did you not? Slam your smoking into the bridge of recruits' noses. Are we being recorded? I wish I was born in the USA. Yeah. So let me hit Doc Holidays. Talking about his son. Doc having a hard time with this civilian, balancing military life and civilian life, as did I. Hence the whole reason, another reason for this show right here, for this community, because that was a hard transition. I almost said horrible. It wasn't at first. But then it catches up to you and you realize, you learn quickly what you don't know. And that's, I think, the problem. There's a bunch of organizations, there's TAP classes, there's all these classes that help you once you get out. But once you receive all these classes and it's a fire hose of information, you try to take down what's the most important part and then you get out. Remember, I did my transition class in Afghanistan. Wasn't really thinking about or listening and take too many notes. So it's when you get out and it feels like you're released to the wolves. And then you got to kind of figure it out. You can't go to your base education. You're not going to BAS. You're not going to all those things that you have at your disposal while you're active. A little harder. And of course, that little thing called ego gets in our way. We don't need help. We'll figure it out on our own. Hence the whole reason, again, why we're here today, as we want to do is help make it better for everyone. And then balancing now, being in the civilian community for a decade now, I realized that, wow, leadership is not the same. And who's the different one? Is it me? Were my expectations way too high? And that's what my producer tells me all the time. Don't lower your standards, lower your expectations. And unfortunately, I very recently had to lower and lower and lower my expectations. I'll never lower my standards. And as nobody should, you got to help fight to get that organization that you're with up to higher standards. It's the expectation, good God, that just keeps getting beat down. But never quit or give up, right? Don't stop fighting. But there's certain indications that you have to realize in that organization. People don't leave bad businesses. People don't leave bad units. People don't leave bad organizations. People leave bad leadership. When the leadership fails, that's when you lose good people. So if you got a high turnover rate, what's going on? Let's stop and look at this and let's find out why good people are leaving this organization, as with our government. Jared, it's a trip to talk to him now. He's talking about JTB. He used to thrash the crap out of him. He was nasty. Just kidding. Doc, amen, brother. I'm telling you, that's been my observation. So again, you tell him hang tough. Don't lower his standards. His expectations are going to go up and down. And that's, again, still learn from those bad leaders. As painful as it is to endure it day after day, learn from it and just make sure when he's in a position to do something about it, not if, that he'll know what not to do. Best notes I've taken recently. Nasty recruit JTB. Salty says, I knew I was leaving the Corps when my CO was overheard in Helmand saying it wouldn't be a real combat deployment until we took at least 5 friendly KIAs because he wanted the memorial bracelets. Wow. Unreal. Unreal, Salty. I tell you, my very last deployment was, I mean, a way to go out. We didn't lose anybody. And that was pretty amazing. That's crazy. Some people are in it for the wrong reason. Clearly, same with in the civilian community. Some people are in it for the wrong reason, not for a passion of what they're doing. There's money-driven people that in the meantime they're on the backs of passionate, hardworking people. It's sad to see. In fairness, we were all nasty unsat nasty recruits. Yes, sir, Jared. Amen, brother. Yes, we were. Sliced bacon. Do you have any life advice? Yes. Like and subscribe to this channel, and you'll get nothing but life advice. Stay with us. Yes, be flexible. Standards we were just talking about. Have very high standards, but just sometimes you're going to have to lower your expectations. Only because that's what we were just talking about right now. But 100%. Like and subscribe, Bacon, and that's a cool name, so we'd like to see you on here. We managed not to lose anyone by the grace of God, so that nasty CO didn't get his bracelets. Good. Wow, Salty. We'll talk later on that. I'd like to hear more about that. John Adams says, be flexible. Yes, 100%. You got to flex with the times. Is every boss going to be the same? Nope. Should they be? No, that's how you grow. Somebody taught us loyalty, so here I am 30 years later, still learning from him. Semper Fi, brother. I'm learning from you, JT. I'm so glad you're here. I missed what happened with John McJunkin. Something was uncalled for. What is SFMF? Semper Fi, my friend. That's what it means. If you know, you know. Always faithful. We're all friends here. So everybody jumps on the troll so quickly. We're all friends here. We're all learning. We're all serving. We're helping each other out. We're here for each other. We got each other's back. So Semper Fi, my friend Joey, like and subscribe, brother. Stay here. Rabbit hole, another one. Just hit it. We don't fight for the CO. That's exactly, they're popping off. Be ready to fire and hire on a regular basis. Amen. Awesome, Bob. A great point. Be ready to hire and fire. How long do you keep someone that's not doing their job? Because they're a relative or a friend of a friend, and you just want to keep them in place so they can continue to collect a paycheck. Whatever's best for the organization, right? Best person for the job. We're not worried about, don't get us started on DEI, but whoever is best for that position, man or woman. They've done the job before or not. Sergeant Major Gunny Granite said that our foods are for the customers and our homeless veterans, not for McCubs here. I'm not checking. Is McCubs somebody on here? Did he say something? Joe, you got it. I like the MF version better. I know you would, Salty. Life advice, literally. Shoot, move, and communicate. 100%. M. Clavo. Can't say it better. Shoot, move, and communicate. Always. Anderson, the old saying is God, family, country, core. Amen, Jared. Era. Or in A Few Good Men, unit, core, God, country. Era. Sir. Do you recommend joining the Army? First and foremost, new to the ones. Friends, don't let friends join the Army. Hurrah. Serve, brother. Serve your country. This is a primarily Marine channel because the producer is a Marine spouse and a Marine mother and a Marine wife and a Marine herself. But 100%, look, John Adams said, the Army's good. Serve your country. If you want to learn more about the Marine Corps and the history and tradition and the fact that Marines are fanatical, so let me say it, about what? About being Marines. Completely different world. Army's okay. The Corps is for men, though. I'm 19, definitely considering it. Learn new to the ones. I'm telling you, get as much information as you can. Yeah, 100%. McChubby. Trying to shame more PT by referring to me as McChubby. Let it go, John. Learn as much as you can about all the branches of service. I highly recommend it, but I also highly, highly recommend the Marine Corps. No regrets, right? I joined the Marine Corps so I could talk trash the rest of my life. Life advice, don't do drugs, don't smoke, don't drink and drive. Awesome, Clavo. Don't forget Army wings are made of lead and Marine Corps wings are made of gold. Just saying. Oh, and when you graduate, or when you graduate, excuse me, congrats, welcome to the family. Congrats, Owen Kennedy. I missed it. New to the channel, graduated boot camp. Let's hear from you, Owen. I'll be looking this time. Man, I swam for the Army on Tuesday. My ASVAB was too high to be a Marine. You had somebody else take it? Sorry to hear that, guy. You're serving, though. You're not a Marine, but you're obviously still welcome here. We won't hold it against you that you're going to the Army. What was your ASVAB? That's not even important. You missed it. If you would have been on this channel earlier, Kai, we could have saved you. Awesome and Semper Fi, Owen. So Owen must have just graduated. Owen, let me hear from you. I'm paying attention this time. Get it, Owen. Congratulations, Owen. The Army are for soldiers and Marines are for leaders. We're just glad you're serving. Wish you would have come back and talk to us later. JT, you're transforming me into a 17-year-old high school kid to a U.S. Marine 30 years ago today, and let me, Dave, thank you for the lesson. You need to work on your text. Congratulations, Owen. What's your MOS, Owen? Where is Owen? There he is, Owen Kennedy, Delta Company Platoon, 1053, 1st Battalion, Big Red 1. What's your MOS now, Owen? And are you going to, if you just graduated, you're on leave right now. 0311, 0311, you made it. So you're going to your infantry training first. And wherever you're from, Owen, then you can let us know on your dream sheet, request the farthest away from home, right? USMC Cece, tell them, don't try to get stationed right back home on your first duty station. That is awesome, Owen. Congratulations. Welcome to the family. Stay with us. Grunt Corps. Heading to SOI East in 10 days. So a Paris Island Marine. All right. We'll talk about you here in a little bit. 220 pounds is a max at Nathan. 220 for what? Bearded Viking Woodworks. Bearded Viking Woodworks. Veteran-owned business? Let's hear about it. Bearded Viking Woodworks. Let's hear what you got. Willie Goodman, 63. Your Corps, my Corps, Marine Corps. 100%. Your Corps, our Corps. That's a good cadence, too. Huge fan. That Kimi Cocoa Puffs? Huge fan of America. Good to see you. I'm 42. Can I join basic training to join the Army? Says Bob. I'm 42. Can I join basic training? I think you would do well in the Army. I don't think the Marines would take you at that age. I almost said that old, but at that age. But go see recruiters. We had our oldest that we've had here on the show that we know about, we talked about, was 36, 34, or 36. So it's not unheard of. If you're physically fit, recruiters will be able to tell you. You don't have to pass a PFT if you join the Marine Corps. 42, so I mean your first enlistment, you could be a sergeant by the time you're 46. Be pretty tough. But we've seen crazier things. Clava 0341, in fact, served with Big O in mid-90s. 0341. Carl says, hi, Kimi. Adam East was underweight, so I wasn't able to put in 6'3", 138 pounds. Wow. Why does it matter for underweight? In boot camp, they'll get you up to weight. You'll be a double rat recruit. In boot camp, you get double rations every time you eat because you got to have some meat on them bones, right? You're going to be doing stuff, carrying things, carrying people. You got to have some oomph to get her done. So you need to be of weight, too. You cannot be overweight, you can't be underweight. That's where the weight, Carl, the weight standards come into play. Just eat a dozen donuts. You don't want to be, definitely don't want to be overweight getting a boot camp. Jared was a double rat. Gained 50 pounds in boot camp. Gained some weight. I think about 10 or 12 pounds in boot camp. You know, all them push-ups. Getting thrashed all the time. A dozen donuts daily. Jelly donuts, of course. I mean, I may be 172, but that was Longview. I'm Grand Saline now. Double rat, the envy of every diet private. Right? You know them diet privates. When the drill instructor's walking through us, you love the red strappers. You need half of that and half of that. In fact, give that to him right there. Double rat recruit. It works though, right? You got to be lean and mean. Gained 21 pounds in boot camp. Lean and mean, jarhead. Yeah, gained some, all muscle, of course. I was 142 going in and graduated at 200. Whoa, Jared, killed it. 2 jelly donuts coming up. How do you feel about Russia? I don't mind Russia. I've never been there. As long as we have, again, the right relationship with everybody. Yeah. So, everyone's so funny on here. What's everybody drinking? Big O, where you at? Lay Cookie, haven't heard from you in a little while. That's that American flag behind me. I opened it a couple weeks ago. Beautiful. A&C Metalworks. Adam East went in yoked to boot camp, came out shredded. Summer helps too. When you go in the summer, that heat, both coasts, you're going to lose all that fat, that baby fat. You're still a baby at 17, 18 years old. Excuse me, do you think recruiters will be in on Labor Day tomorrow? They better be. Recruiters work 7 days a week, 24/7. Call them up. New to the ones. Call them, leave messages, keep calling them. They don't have no time off unless they hit their quota a long time ago. Call the recruiter. Put him or her to work. Get what you're after. Every day is a holiday and every meal is a feast in the Marine Corps. Amen, Jarhead. They still do pugil stick fights in boot camp. That was fun time for me. I love pugil sticks in boot camp. That's what I got one of my phone calls. And it was still a bridge over troubled water, right? That was the name of it, bridge over troubled water. It was a bridge and there was water underneath this. I think it was like a foot deep or something. But it was cool knocking people, seeing the splash when you knocked them into it. I think now they still do it. I think they definitely still do pugil sticks, but I think they just do it on just in a ring. I don't know if they do it over a bridge. It's been a while since we did a little drive around MCRD, but I know they still do it. Adam East, it's a new month. They're open. Yeah, you nailed it, Adam. You must have been a recruiter. First of the month, they're going to be open. Recruiters getting to work. I just got duty on my security job. Just got on duty, Agent 207. All right, watch what you say, everyone. Posture patties still taste better than the omelet. Come on, Jared, the omelet with ham, best MRE out there. There is still a bridge. Awesome, says Detailed Donkey. Is there water in it, or it's like barks or chips or something underneath it? I don't think they do the water, but at least they still have the bridge. That's pretty cool. Westpac, the Holy Grail Mid-Rats Pass. Yes, that is awesome. You get that, and once you get in the Chiefs Mess, you can go 24/7. You can go in the Chiefs Mess. There's a cook in there just about 24/7. What do you have? The Chiefs Mess. Shh, don't talk about the Chiefs Mess. You got to be an E7 to get up in there. Once you're in there, you're in there. Chiefs Mess got it all. Enemy said, not a recruiter, MSG, and will only do that again. Awesome. I was never a recruiter either. Wanted to. I didn't try all that hard, clearly, because you see the pain and the misery that some of those guys go through. So never did have the opportunity. I wanted to just for the experience. Talk about it. Oh, Agent 207, he's not an agent. He's just a security guard. Very important as well, right? You're protecting the agency. So good on you, 207. So we can talk freely is what you're saying. No water at Paris Island, only tire chips. I think that's the new norm, Owen. Not that big of a deal, still fun. Bugle Sticks was fun. I won like the first couple, and of course all the DIs like, can you beat my guide? Can you beat my guide? Like 8 or 9 times later, I was sore for forever. My neck was sore, but it was fun. Leaves in Russia. Us over them for sure. FBI open the door. What we up to nowadays, Sarmays? What are we up to? Aqua. Real interesting show already. It was hot and heavy for a little bit. We talked about the Sergeant Major, Master Gunnery Sergeant rank. That's a popular couple shorts that we've done. Again, we talked about how not everybody's a fan of the Sergeant Major because that's the one who doles down punishment. So we think of him or her as being the bad guy or girl. They're just holding people accountable. Somebody's got to do it. We talked about what if there was no 89, 99s and Marines were allowed to kind of do whatever they want without accountability, without repercussion, consequences for the actions that they take. We talked about how crazy would we see some uniform appearances, mustaches, and haircuts without the staff NCOs to police them, and then the first sergeant and sergeant major to hold them accountable. And the 180 degrees for the other side of the house, the mission accomplishment by the Master Gunnery Sergeants. So again, a great relationship on our number one priority, and that's mission accomplishment. But between the two of them, that's another way to put it too. To accomplish that mission, you have the priorities of work are mission accomplishment and troop welfare. And with the Master Guns and the Sergeant Major, that's what they do collectively, right? Mission accomplishment, troop welfare, do them together at the same time. Great relationship. I only bring it up because it's funny hearing from, or it's interesting hearing from the comments, or I got to believe that most of them are from non-E8s and E9s, non-89, 99s, and their perception of the Sergeant Major or the Master Guns. Those are fun, hearing from different people like that. Thanks, Carl. All right. Owens, IT are the best. Did you learn it? Live it and love it. CG Light, are you a policeman? Are the best. Owens, IT are the best. Did you learn it? Puerto Rico 65th Infantry Division, 1952. Ronald, Welcome, brother. Semper Fi, my friend. (1952). What else do we talk about? A little bit about having thick skin, right? Just in general, that's a life lesson. Somebody said, you got any life lessons? Yeah. Have thick skin. Be honest, open, transparent, right? Don't sugarcoat things. Tell it like it is. Owen said, sucked at the beginning, but I got used to it and gave me 10 pounds of muscle weight. So it works. Oh, and the IT didn't get easier. You got stronger, right? That's what Emma said. You know, when you're going through the child line and the recruits don't do mess duty anymore. But when older recruits see the younger ones, stay motivated, recruit. It gets better. It gets easier. PT gets easier. None of that gets easier. You get stronger. So it does, I guess, in a sense, gets easier, but you're just being trained. All right, Arqua says, I didn't run into any sergeants major too often when I was in 2019 to 23, but our company gunny, Alpha Company 14, sure seemed like one. As much as it can suck sometimes, accountability is a must. I'm telling you, someone's got to hold everyone accountable. And it's just, I'm seeing it now in the civilian sector. It's just not happening, and it needs to happen 100%. Hold people accountable. Don't sugarcoat things. Do what's right for the organization, not for yourself. Unselfish. Did you ever work on the mess deck? I worked for a Chiefs mess and loved it. Fresh food. I did as a young Marine. I did a couple mess duty stints, but love them cooks. Master Sergeant message just came out. 2 years, 2 months out from 0369. Wow. Guns, keep at it. Master Sergeant message just came out. So hang tight, brother. Keep doing what you're doing. Mac, era. Where's Jared? G Light. You know what happened with, nope. Achilles lower ship. Good question, Luke. Can't help you there. Spelled my name wrong, Mac. He did. Don't recognize Dominican Republic as a state. Isn't that crazy? You telling me you put theirs on the line now? Respect, yeah. Can't answer that here. Lukewarm. And what else? The other thing we talked about, whoever asked later in the show, we talked about values and core values, what we like to call them. We're used to calling it that, the core values. Really just pride in your unit, pride in your organization. Are you in that organization for a long time? Talk about the book, A Message to Garcia. I haven't brought it up in a while, but it's definitely has a message in there about when you work for someone, you got to work for them. And that's hard to do a lot of times when those individuals who you're working for don't share the same passion. Owen, recently graduated Marine, asks, any tips on SOI, School of Infantry? I never went through SOI. I knew that the sergeant major there at one time was one of my first sergeants. I knew the battalion commander at SOI for a while. Is that what he was, a battalion commander or the SOI commanding officer? SOI is going to suck worse than boot camp, says Jared. He says, don't go. Here's why it's going to suck. One, you're a Marine now. So being held accountable is going to be even that much more, what's the right word? Important, right? Because now boot camp, you screw up, you get thrashed, you get IT'd. You know, that's easy. That's instant accountability. Sure, and it happens. And you might have got away with some stuff just only for lack of time. You mess up as a Marine now your consequences are different. Now we're talking about non-judicial punishment, page 11s. It can get a whole lot more serious. So that's just one aspect. And now you're a Marine, so you're going to get treated a little more like a Marine. In boot camp, still you're a recruit, and they're trying to help you graduate to be a basically trained Marine, so you're allowed to make mistakes. And you're allowed to make mistakes in SOI, sure, and throughout your entire career, but you're going to be held accountable on a leadership level now. And the old saying, suck it up, there's going to be a lot of times like that, sucking it up. So again, hadn't been through SOI, right there, look at Demon Hunter says, it can be fun, stay awake, pay attention in class, enjoy the camping trips, the nice walks, and the many types of firing ranges. So yes, the camping trips and the nice walks, yes, that's sleeping in the field and hikes with the 80-pound pack. But enjoy it. Take advantage of it on your limited amount of off time. Go to the gym. Continue to work out, study, sleep, do all the things you can and give it 110%. If you give it 100% boot camp, give it 110% in SOI. Right? Just it's starting out your career. So give it all you got. Camping trips. Anderson says, get some good insoles for your boots. Buy extra pair of boot bands, t-shirts. Buy a new bladder for your Camelback so you have a new one. If you can't, buy mouthwash, wash it. Saddle, how's that saying goes? Horse, saddle, self. Take care of yourself. Horse, saddle, self. Obviously came back from the days of horseback riding and fighting. Take care of your horse, take care of your saddle, meaning all your equipment, and then take care of yourself. But do that every single time. Before you sleep, before you write letters, before you get on your phone, take care of everything you got to take care of for the next day, then get some rest. You're going to have to pull some all-nighters. You're going to have to stay up late. You're going to have to do some things that you're not going to want to do. Get comfortable being uncomfortable. That's what today's society isn't good at. Get comfortable being uncomfortable. Shooting and blowing things is great, but walking 30 miles to get to the range isn't fun. You're going to go on some long hikes. You're going east. I don't know about SOI East, SOI West. You got the mountains of Camp Pendleton. So they're going up and down them hills constantly. They sell tablets at the PX. Slip in your Camelback to clean it. Oh, for your Camelback. Yeah, good on you. So Major Castle was my SOI instructor. They called him the Robo Grunt for a reason. Hurrah. Awesome, Jarhead. Lucky you had him as an instructor. It'll be tough, but thank you guys for advice. I'm signing off for the night. Semper Fi. Owen, once again, brother, congratulations. Welcome to the family. Devil Dog, get after it. See us, come back Wednesday. Wednesday and Sundays, we're live. Sunday right now, come back next Wednesday, 1900 Central Time. Congratulations and Semper Fi, my friend. Michael Jones says, I have a Marine Corps tattoo on my left upper arm, and people ask me, what does USMC stand for? So I tell them, Uncle Sam's Misguided Children. Amen. Hurrah. Seriously, powder your behind because chafing is real. Keeping it real, Jared. I'm telling you, get that Gold Bond, monkey butt, get those powders. Get ready for them long hikes. John Adams, Semper Fi. Semper Fi, Devil Dog, Owen. Lukewarm, I'm ashamed I messed up the name Puerto Rico. We ain't mad at you. We don't hold no grudges here. Doc Holliday, Owen. Yes, before you heard it from Doc Holliday, tell all your fellow Marines to come and join. How great would that be? Have a whole platoon of SOI Marines on this channel. Damn, hook it up, Owen. Sounds good. I'll tune in Wednesday. We'll see you Wednesday, Owen. Semper Fi, brother. What is G-Light? G-Light has no icon. I can't see what it is. I thought that was on somebody else's message. So I haven't been reading those G-Light. I can't see any icon for you. What do you think about the war in Ukraine? Again, another mess that we need to clean up. Great to see you again, sir. This is Mason Winters. When you come into Texas for a meet and greet, what's your favorite historical battle outside of our glorious Marine Corps history to use as a teaching point? Wow, no one's ever asked me that. Of course, every Marine battle, the one that Marines weren't in that they should have been is D-Day landing, the amphibious landing that they did without an amphibious unit, amphibious corps. The Marine Corps should have been there. Big Erm, congrats on 15K subs. Appreciate you, brother. I try not to dwell on that or watch it too much, but you can't help it. We want to grow this community to help and serve as many people as possible. So appreciate you, Big Erm, for noticing that. I'm ashamed that I messed up the state Puerto Rico, but should they be respected more? Coming from a Canadian that doesn't understand. Yeah, I'm not sure where you're going with that. G-Light says, please search on Google Achille, Loro, ship, Delta Force, and Italian Army. Check that out. Jared says, I'm struggling with not commenting nasty things back to the trolls. Don't do it, Jared. We got thick skin. Let them go. Because you see, the trolls, when they don't get that feedback, it's like a bully. They pick on the short, fat kid. When the short, fat kid doesn't strike back at him, the bully gets bored and goes somewhere else. It's funny. We'll just watch them come and go. Hang tight, Jared. Awesome. Come down to Oklahoma. Toby Keith bar is off the hook, says Doc. Let's go. We'll start traveling. What's your wife's advice for being a USMC wife? Carrie Marie Potts says, wow, the hardest job in the Marine Corps is a spouse. And that's why there's spouses month, or the month of the dependent child, or something, whatever it is, it needs to be year round, because that is 100% the hardest job in the Marine Corps. We talk about it. The Marine knows where he or she is going, what they're getting ready to do. They know the day-to-day life. They're with a bunch of their friends. The spouse back home is the one that has the hard job. And good God, we don't appreciate them enough. So we'll get her on the show one day. She can tell you her advice, but I can tell you is nothing more rewarding than, man, our kids are great. We have a great family. It just, everything has worked out because of the effort that she has done back here. Couldn't have done it I can't do anything that we do now without the spouse. So you got to be flexible, patient, understanding. I might have volunteered for a couple of the operations that I went on, knowing that she was taking care of business back home. Not easy. Again, think about it. Think about the stuff that they have to do now by themselves. All the kids, the schools and sports and parties and graduations and illnesses and the cars and the house if you're paying rent and registration of vehicles. I mean, just the list is endless, and they're doing it all. So get after it. Agent 207, what does SFMF stand for? Excuse me. Semper Fi, my friend. Ebra. Jared, Doc, you and Sergeant Cece are doing a fantastic job. I'm putting you both in for LOC, LOA. I'll sign them. Jared, send them my way. G-Light, you have been on a mission. A few of them, G-Light. Semper Fidelis, my friend. Thanks, Jared. Leaving the boot camp this week. Original. OG, you're leaving the boot camp this week. Get after it, brother or sister. I don't know which one you are, but get after it. What coast are you going to? And know that you cannot quit or give up. You got this. As soon as you get back, original, come back and let us know. Give us the latest. We need to know the latest scoop on what boot camp is like now. USMCC Jared, please send a copy to my chain of command. You got to get that in your SRB. Are you keeping with UAP reports? Nope, don't know what they are. Original, get some. Can we get them both NAMs, Sergeant Major? Might be able to bump those up to NAMs. Might be pushing it, but you know, we'll just add some fluff into the write-ups. That's usually what we do. Oh, geez, going to Paris Island. Get some. It's still summer. Sand fleas. Get used to the sand fleas. Don't kill them, right? The DIs will catch you, and you'll pay for that dead sand flea. Don't do it. Let it eat your skin. They'll go away. Remember to look out for your friends. It's Suicide Prevention Month. Amen. September. Buddy checks. Good one. Menachem, appreciate you. Buddy checks always. Man, always. If you can do it always, but especially and certainly this month. Look out for them. Joya says, the mighty, mighty island. G-Light, what is the dangerous place you've been? Iraq, Afghanistan, Somalia, Desert Storm, Kuwait. Somebody was talking about Kuwait earlier today. Original, learn it, live it, love it. Plus, you're going to Paris Island. It's easy money. I got my NAM for helping in the field chow hall. Telling you, Jared, sometimes the NAMs come pretty cheap. And you know, crazy, my entire career, I have two. I think I only have one. And that was for the drill field. Sometimes they come easy, sometimes they don't. W23, my commander owes me 20 cases of water for all the good work. Hey, Whiskey Jack. All right, here's one from John McJunkin. Sergeant Major, Young Marine Hager asks, sir, could you explain the difference between the green belt DI and the black belt DI? Awesome question. Wow. Good on you, Young Marine Hager. So, usually for an ideal DI team is 4 drill instructors. Ideally. Doesn't always happen. Needs of the course. Sometimes you have more, sometimes you have less. But there should be 4. The most senior drill instructor is called the senior drill instructor, the SDI. He's normally been on the drill field. He's probably done about 6 or 7 cycles of platoons. He's the most experienced drill instructor, the senior drill instructor. For the males, we call him Big Daddy. Big Daddy's on deck. He's going to take care of the boys. The other drill instructors all wear the green belt. So they're not Big Daddy. They're not overall in charge. But even the green belts have a specific job. Each one of them has a different specific job. The most senior green belt is the heavy. San Diego, we called him the J during my time. Paris Island, I think they call him the heavy. That's the most senior green belt guy. He's getting ready to pick up a black belt soon. He's overall in charge, really, of everything. He makes the senior drill instructor look good as he's training the platoon. He teaches drill. He doles out the discipline. He's like the senior enlisted advisor to the black belt. Awesome job. You got to be on it to be that J. And what you're doing is setting yourself up, getting ready to be a black belt. The next green belt, a little junior to that first one, would normally be in charge of just teaching call him the prac hat, because he teaches the practical application. The test helps the recruits to study. He's given the classes in the classroom, just preparing the recruits for graduation, for everything. The third hat, they call him. And then you got the kill hat. Yeah, that's normally the most junior, the newest drill instructor. So he doesn't have a whole lot of responsibilities. He can't teach all the prac. He certainly is not ready to teach drill and the discipline. He's not the senior. The most junior drill instructor on your team, the kill hat. And his responsibility is to kill recruits. Not kill them, just kidding. Train them, thrash them, building the discipline. He's the hardest working one there, nonstop. He's on, they call it lights to lights. He's up before the lights come on in the squad bay, and he's up after the lights go out in the squad bay. He is instilling discipline in those recruits. So that's the difference between the black belt and the green belt. Hope that helps. All right. I saw my senior like 3 times in boot. Jared, says Jared. Senior's not around that much. Again, depending on what kind of senior you were. My first cycle as a senior drill instructor, I wanted so badly to get it right and have the best platoon in the world. I was there a lot. Man, now I look back, I hope I didn't micromanage, but I wanted it to be perfect until I learned a little more. Demon Hunter is, to this day, I think I saw my kill hat on the poster before and after boot camp. Yeah, probably. Got you, Carl. Era. Anderson Ho. Staff Sergeant M.A. Betancourt. When was that? I know Betancourt was our most senior greenbelt who became an SDI the next cycle. Literally hours after we graduated, he picked up a new platoon as an SDI. He retired as a sergeant major, awesome Marine. I think I know Betancourt. That's how it happens. I did like about 4 cycles as a greenbelt. Again, from the kill hat to the third hat to the J. Did like 2 cycles, I think, as a J, and then I finished out. Did 3 cycles as a black belt. So that's the progression as it should be. Not everybody gets a black belt, though, just due to sheer numbers, right? There's only 6 platoons in a company. So you figure that's just 6 Marines are going to get the black belt. All the other, people rotate, people finish their tour. So ideally, you spend some time as a green belt, and then you end up picking up a black belt. Noah says they kill you in boot camp so you don't get killed in combat or in the field. Amen, Noah. Very well said. Paul Hall said we had 2 DIs and a senior until we were named the Booker platoon. Then we had 3 DIs by week 8. Needless to say, we won final drill. So there were times through my career on the drill field. One time I had like a 6-man team. And that was just, they were moving drill instructors around. We had a lot of staff NCOs that had to have a place to go. One of my seniors was a gunnery sergeant, so we got all the gunnies and staff sergeants. And then I did a cycle, my very first cycle, there was only 3 of us because our J and our heavy both got fired. We had a senior and 2 brand new drill instructors, myself and another one. That was chaos for a little while too. We didn't even know what we were doing. So we had a senior and 2 kill hats, essentially. So the senior was working overtime. Jarhead said, my senior was there every day. Staff Sergeant Bond. One bad A Marine. Have you ever had to kill a little person? They're all the same. Ran into him in Kuwait, coming out of the chow hall on deployment. Ran into your drill instructor. That's pretty awesome. I ran into 3 out of 4 of my drill instructors. That's awesome. And Jarhead, awesome seeing him again. What was your favorite hat when you were a DI? What did I like when I was a DI? Which did I like best? Wow, that's a great question too. I enjoyed them all, but I wanted to be a senior, 100%. But I was very fortunate. I did, again, a cycle of each, and then became a senior. So I was all of them. I was the kill hat, loved that. But I wanted more. I wanted to be the third hat so I can teach the education part and the drill. And then I wanted to be the J, to be like overall in charge, and then a senior. Great question. I appreciate that. John McJunkin, NCO wife, Mrs. Weederly, comments, Sergeant Major, our organization would like to thank you, your wife, and your children for service to our great nation. God bless you all. Well, thank you, ma'am, very, very much, because it is a team effort, and we are all serving. So appreciate you, Miss Weederly. I hope I'm saying that right. God bless you, ma'am, and thank you very much. And the family's all here on it right now, so they see it as well. Very much appreciated. Again, we do it for the love of all of us. So amen, and God bless you. Custom said, I went through boot camp during the Reagan administration. I heard they hand out stress cards now. Is that true? They did a test, Custom, Taylor, one. They did a short, I think 1 cycle, they tested the stress card. And luckily, it didn't last. And Owen can tell us when he gets back. My daughter went through a few years ago now. But no, there is no stress cards. Again, it was an idea. Don't get me started back on the think tank. Who thought of that? Did they ask drill instructors? Did they ask the right people? I'm suffering that now. People making decisions for someone that's going to implement that policy without getting their input. That's what I think happened on that particular. Let's try a stress card. Sounds like a great idea. People who aren't even in that position that are going to be dealing with that every day made that decision. But no, it's not true. Bob says, I got to sit down with one of my drill instructors after I made sergeant. He was as happy as I was to meet again. It's very cool. It's very cool. 3V Alex, we're getting ready to land this helicopter, brother, but subscribe and like and join us Wednesday, and you'll find out more what this channel is all about. But meeting your drill instructors after boot camp is pretty awesome. It's pretty amazing. And then meeting recruits, now Marines, as a drill instructor, JTB, love that as well. My first encounter with my third hat was back on MCRD. I was that idiot Marine that went right back to MCRD and was walking around and just smelling it and like I wanted to be there. I was a Marine, I was a PFC, but I walked across a parade deck, knowing full well you don't do that, and all of a sudden I hear from the heavens, Cece, get off the freaking parade deck. You lost your... It was my drill instructor, my third hat. I never even saw him. Just heard him. I looked around and echoed all throughout the parade deck. He said, yep, I'm looking at you. Get off my parade deck. I ran into him later. Then I ran into my Jay decades later. I was a gunny. He was a master sergeant. That was cool. We were both at the academy. Did some work with him. And then I ended up running into my senior drill instructor, who was also at my promotion to sergeant major. He was a sergeant major, and he and my wife pinned on my sergeant major chevrons. So that was very cool. So it is awesome meeting your drill instructor or your recruits / Marines later on. John McJunkin says, Sergeant Major, could you please ask Gunny Grainer to stop calling me McChubby? That's what you were talking about earlier. Come on, Guns. Or help him not be McChubby. McJunkin. Love you guys. Carl Green, right up there. Nailed it. Support your veteran-owned, local veteran-owned businesses. 100%. Amen. Look at Jarhead. You walked across the parade deck? Yes, in civilian clothes. Jarhead, I didn't say I was the smartest Marine ever. I was a PFC. And I think I got like 2 steps onto it. And called down from the heavens. Got it. G-Light, I'm from Italy. I want to thank all of you Americans. You saved my nation. Thank you for fighting against fascism and Nazi. Thank you so much. We don't forget your help, all Italy. Thank you, G-Light. Appreciate that. None of us here were a part of that, but our ancestors certainly were. So good on you. Good looking out. Been to Italy a few times. Love it. Thanks for being here, brother. G-Light. 420. That was a big deal, being on the grinder without proper reason. Again, lesson learned. And didn't. Sergeant Stewart, drill instructor Sergeant Stewart. With our platoon, he was the youngest drill instructor on the West Coast at the time. He was an animal. We called him Jaws because you know how recruits are, but he had on braces and he spit and he stuttered. He actually had a stutter when he was talking to us. When he was yelling, there wasn't no stutter. Had the best sing-song cadence. Awesome, awesome Marine. But he was scary. It was very cool. So I made you found the hard way. I'm telling you, I found out the hard way. You don't walk around. And I knew, because as soon as he said it, I mean, everything just clicked. But again, young PFC. You may have said already, but missed it. Where and when were you DI? Oh, 94 to 96, San Diego era. Hollywood. Yes, handing out sunglasses and sunscreen. G-Light, welcome. We got you, Carl. Excuse me. I didn't have to have that explanation. You guys are funny. You guys are funny. You're awesome. Appreciate every single one of you. I didn't look at the numbers tonight, but again, those of you that are still here, again, like and subscribe. Smash the like button. I didn't even talk about our stickers and our merch. SFMF-merch.myshopify.com. Again, like and subscribe. Pass to all your friends and neighbors. Everything is still available. Shout out to the production team. Nailed it again. I think I got the audio and visual down. We had no hiccups. Turned my phone stuff, everything completely off. I think we might be getting it. We might be getting it together. Wednesday, 1900, right? We're still sticking to that timeline. Sunday's 1800. So let us know what you think about the timelines, if those work. Michael Jones says, Sergeant Major, I don't know if you know about me. I've open heart surgery. Man, I missed the rest of it. Michael Jones, give us an update. You just recently had open heart surgery. God bless you, brother. Let us know so we can pray for you. Jerry says, well done, production team. Letters of appreciation on the way. McChubby says, just kidding, John. Sergeant Major Cadet Ritlins asks, sir, does the Marine Corps intend to ever go back to tank crews? My grandpa was a Marine tanker in Vietnam. I'd like to do the same. Wow. I was sad to see the tanks go away. It's just, it got to change with times, though. It was the dinosaur of the Marines. There's too many air superiority to, in my opinion, at least that's what the reasoning was. I missed the tanks, loved everything about them. Every battle I fought in, we were very, very close to tanks. Even drove one in Afghanistan, for a different story for a different time, but loved the tankers. Awesome, awesome piece of gear. Sad to see it go, man. Wow. Great question, though. Michael Jones says, thank you, Doc. I got some. All right. Everything. You're still here, Michael Jones. Again, we want to hear all about it. We hope you're feeling well. Hope everything's working out well. And hit that timer before it makes a noise, please. Everyone should share this video with your friends. That timer is going to beep over there. Walking tall, Michael Jones. Amen. Amen to all of you. Everybody, Michael Jones, we got you, brother. Appreciate you. Once again, God bless everyone. It is Sunday. Thank you for spending your Sunday with Semper Fi, my friend, team, and family. We will all be back Wednesday. Hope to see you Wednesday, 1900 Central Time, so 2000 East Coast, 1500. Don't get me started on the times. 1900 Central Time. We'll be back with some cool topics. We hope that our whole community comes back and we continue to grow. God bless you all, and Semper Fi, my friend. URAH.